Following on from the consent order relating to salmon farming, can the Honourable Teslam Barkman please give details of the timescales for this work to be completed and a decision to be made?
Step 1 and 2 have already begun, and step 1 itself has concluded. So step 1 was the production of the terms of reference for external consultants to be hired, which will deliver a socio-economic analysis and the consultation exercise itself. And that was completed in last month. So moving on to step 2, which will be the procurement of consultants, which is, I believe, currently active and ongoing. That is due to conclude November 2024. Step 3, which will be the consultation scoping exercise, and this will ensure that stakeholders and the wider public have a chance to highlight any materials they think that should be included into the consultation that are currently not part of the information pack. And these will be held throughout November of 2024. Step 4 will be the production of the consultation documents themselves. This will include a socio-economic report, a project proposal, reports on best practice recommendations, and a legislative review, in addition to any other information identified as part of the scoping exercise. And this will happen between November this year and March of next year. Step 5 will be the finalisation of the consultation format, which will happen over March and April next year. The ambition is to hold the public consultation, which will be step 6, throughout April and June of next year. Step 7, the consultant will produce a report based on the consultation responses. These will be compiled over June and July of next year. Step 8 will be the production of the report for the Executive Council decision, and this is expected in August of 2025, with the report submitted for EXCO decision in September of next year.
The reason we're doing this scoping exercise as a starting point is to make sure that people have the chance to help us create a good consultation. So what we have planned is several pieces of documentation for the consultation. So we're going to have a report on legislation related to fish farming. We're going to have one on best practices and environmental impact. We're going to have one on socio-economic impacts as well. The consultation itself will put forward 4 options for levels of fish farming in the Falklands, so one of which will be no fish farming, but then the others will be different levels of fish farming. So one would be niche only, so perhaps organic, one would be done at the environmental carrying capacity, and one would be done below the environmental carrying capacity. The Falklands already has its own legislation on fish farming, but we're also going to be looking at legislation in other countries, and part of the scoping exercise we're asking for views on whether the countries that we've looked at already, which was Scotland and the Faroe Islands, whether there are any other countries that would be good to consider. What we want to ask people is, are those contents sufficient, or do you need more information to help you make an informed decision when we get to the consultation itself?